Hey, what's up, my friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. So we're going to talk about how to get to six figures in network marketing, working your business 1 hour a day. Some of you guys are thinking, what? Is that possible? No way. Look, here's the deal. You can go to the gym and you can spend 4 or 5 hours a day in the gym and still not, get your butt in shape because you're there and you're socializing and you're screwing around and you lift a couple weights here and there and you're in there for 3 or 4 hours, but your workout wasn't very efficient. On the other hand, somebody could go into the gym 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, be totally focused on exactly what they need to do, get it done and knock it out and get out of there and get totally ripped. And I'm a firm believer. Now, is this ideal? Is building your business 1 hour a day? Am I telling you that's all you should do? You should only work your business 1 hour a day and that's it? Of course not. But the truth is, the two biggest excuses or two biggest objections that we get from people that are our prospects in network marketing is what? I don't have the time because their life is busy, their schedule is full, and I don't have the money, which again, to me is like probably the two biggest reasons you should do network marketing, to get more time and to get more money, right? So and why is that? Because we have leverage. Because in network marketing, we're able to earn income, not just on our own efforts, but by building a team over time, we're able to be compensated on the efforts of lots and lots of other people. So is it possible to get to six figures working your network marketing business only 1 hour a day? In my opinion, yes, okay? And let's even take it doesn't even have to be 7 days a week. Let's say you got an hour a day, 5 days a week, you got 5 hours a week to build your business. Can you get to six figures that way? You absolutely can. Is it going to happen overnight? No, but you're only putting in 60 minutes a day. In fact, my friend Rachel, I'll tell you, I've shared this story with some of my coaching clients. When she started her network marketing business, probably, I don't know, at this point, 8 or 9 years ago, she was very, very busy, was working in the medical field, had a very short commute to work. It was literally 5 minutes. She was in her car for 5 minutes, boom, she was at her office. And then she was pretty much just, I don't want to say in lockdown, but she couldn't use her phone. She couldn't, take breaks and go try to build her business in between or at lunch break or any of that. She literally had the 5 minutes on the way into work and on the 5 minutes home. And this is exactly what she did. Okay, this is one idea of how to do it. And this is not even an hour a day. This is like 10 minutes a day. So she, on the way to work, every single day that she went into work when she launched her business, she'd make a phone call and she would say, hey, I'm calling you. Javier and I just launched this business. We'd love for you to take a look at what we're up to. I'm going to send you this video. Can you take a look at this video? I got to go. I will call you on my way back from work. And so she would call that person on the way in, and then she would call that person on the way home from work. And in her case, by the end of 12 months, she had already earned six figures her first 12 months in network marketing, literally building her business in that manner. And we won't even say that's not even an hour a day. So the question is, how do you do it? And I think this is an important thing for everybody in network marketing to understand and to be able to teach to others, because a lot of people are very limited in their time. Now, look, if you can put a couple hours a day, a few hours a day, I mean, the more productive time that you can put in, the more result that you're likely going to create. Now, the key word is productive time, kind of like the example that I gave you with showing up in the gym and hanging out in the gym for 3 or 4 hours a day, but you're just not efficient in terms of how you're working out. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? If you've been to the gym, it's really kind of interesting. Like if you go in and you hired a personal fitness trainer and you have whatever amount of time that you have with your personal fitness trainer, it could be a 30-minute session, could be a 45-minute, might be an hour session. Typically, I don't know, any of the trainers I've ever worked with, it's never more than an hour per session. So a lot of it's like you got 30 minutes to work with a trainer. So if you're working out with a trainer for 30 minutes, there's no messing around, man. There's no screwing around. There's no, I'm cruising along. There's no, hey, leaning up against the equipment, socializing with your buddy over here. It's like you're getting it done every single moment that you're in with that personal fitness trainer for the whatever, let's say in this case, 30 minutes, right? So it's incredibly productive. It's incredibly efficient work that you're doing. So that's the key thing here. So can you do it? Yes, you can. And the way you do it, it's like we've heard the phrase probably, luck is when preparedness meets opportunity. So it has everything to do with preparation. It has everything to do with you being ready to be able to take action when the opportunity arises. And let's say in this example, there are very few opportunities that arise or very little time that you have available to you. Truth be told, most people who say, I'm super busy, I have very little time, I've got no time to build the business. Well, and I'm not saying that they're not busy and that their day is not filled with stuff, but if I was a little mini me on your shoulder following even the most busy person around all day long, chances are that there's little pockets of time where that person could be progressing their business forward if they chose to view their time differently. It's like they're looking at their time with a different set of shades, a different set of glasses. They're looking at it with a different set of eyeballs versus what most people do. And I've talked about this before. I've helped a lot of people be able to look at their time differently. I think this is an important thing for you to do with your reps. And maybe you're struggling right now with not having enough time to build your business. Your schedule's filled up. You got a full-time job. You got a family. You've got other obligations. You got kids in sports. You got a husband, wife, significant other, whatever it is. And there's just very little free time that you have. Like by the time you're done, you were busy all day, and then you get done at the end of the day and you're exhausted, and you're so exhausted that you don't have time to build this network marketing business that you want to build, which is the reason you got into network marketing in the first place, because you're like, man, I'm totally exhausted at the end of every day. It's like, I never feel like I have a free moment to myself, and I get that. And if you're in that situation, I feel for you, and you probably have people in your team that are in exactly the same position. Not only are prospects say, oh my gosh, I don't have the time, but then I guarantee you, you have people on your team that don't have the time. And so one very important thing that you need to do, again, for yourself, if you're faced with the situation, and most certainly if you have people on your team that aren't getting to it, aren't getting busy with doing the business because they just don't have the time, you have to be able to teach people how to, number one, look at their time differently, okay? And I have a business that I built. It was probably, well, let me think for a second. It was probably maybe 3 to 5 hours a week that I built this business, and it paid me. And actually, that company 18 years later, they're still paying me, and it's they're still paying me enough money where when I was younger, I could have easily lived off of that income when I didn't have kids and other responsibilities. I mean, it was the money that I made this last year from a company that I left many, many years ago that continues to pay me. When I built it, I only built it maybe 3 to 5 hours a week. But here's the thing, I was very efficient. The 3 to 5 hours a week that I put into the business was totally focused on productive activities. There was no time to dilly-dally. There was no time to lean up against the gym machine and socialize with my buddy. I didn't have the time or the liberty to get into lengthy conversations with my prospects because I didn't have the time. I had to be incredibly efficient. I had to have short, efficient conversations because I literally didn't have the time, because I had such a small window of time to build my business. So now you may be in that situation, or and quite frankly, you even if you're not in that situation, acting like you've got so much stuff going on and being so super busy will help you to be able to keep some of those conversations from going into hour and a half, 2 hour long conversations where you never end up getting to the point, and you could be a lot more efficient even if you've got plenty of time. So again, can you get to 6 figures in network marketing, working your business an hour a day? Yes, you can. Is it going to happen in 6 months? Probably not. But what if you worked your business an hour a day for, the next 15 to 20 months, and after month 20, you're like, hey, I'm making 8-9 grand a month out of this deal. Are you going to look back and say it wasn't worth it? You're going to say, oh my gosh, I feel like I barely worked the business. How am I making this much money? And I don't even feel like I really put in that much effort, because it was just daily, consistent, small amounts of progress every single day. I mean, that company, I don't know what the total is. It's probably 1.5 to 1.7 million in cumulative earnings from a deal that I built for maybe a couple of years, 3 to 5 hours a week, and they continue to pay me to this day, like 18 years later. That's insane. And I haven't done anything there for literally probably like 18 years. So that's a beautiful thing. If you have a company that stays in business and they got a great product and they continues to pay you over time, I haven't touched it. Literally haven't touched it, and they continue to pay me. So that's a beautiful thing, getting paid that recurring stream of cash flow. So again, real quickly, okay, because this doesn't have to be some long episode. Number one, you got to be ready. You got to be ready. You have to be ready. That means that you can't be dilly-dallying around trying to figure out, hey, who am I going to talk to? Who's the next? You gotta plan, okay? Preparation, right? Preparation is something that you need to do, especially if you're struggling with having a finite amount of time. That means that, in fact, I did this. I know many of you guys have heard this story because I probably told it 100,000 times, maybe not 100,000 times, but I've definitely said it many hundreds of times over the years. One guy I did this with, Mark. Mark had no time, and he's like, quitting my business. He's like, I don't have the time. I don't want to be successful here, but I'm like super involved in my church, and I'm like 70 hours a week in my job. I'm quitting the business, Todd. And and he mentioned to me, he was like, oh, but I got a 2-hour commute. And I'm thinking he's got an hour into work and an hour home from work. You guys know my Mark story if you've plugged into me for a while. Well, Mark was like listening to talk radio. It was actually 2 hours into LA and 2 hours home, which is absolutely insane. And that was 2 hours, that was 4 hours a day in his car. And I know you got to be safe and all that. You can't be like, looking down at, your lead list, your prospect list. But if you're prepared, like he did, he like printed every night before he went to work. He'd print out the prospects for that day. He would print it out on big font. He literally would tape the prospect list to his dash, and all the way into work, he prospected all the way into work, and he prospected all the way home. And within like less than a year, we got him to over 10 grand a month. And this guy was going to quit network marketing. He went on to go make, 40 to 60 grand a month in the next company that he was in. And like network marketing totally changed his life. And this guy was going to quit because he didn't have the time. So lots of people join our profession who barely have any time. That's why they get into our profession, because they're like, I'm not making enough money. I don't have enough free time. And that's what our profession provides, more money and more free time. But it doesn't just happen. You have to make it happen. And yes, you can make it happen with very, very few hours. But again, it has everything to do with preparation, getting your prospect list ready before you take off and you go to work. Like I don't leave my house for any extended period of time without taking my bag with me that's got my laptop, my prospect list, my journal, whatever I need, so that if I've got 15 minutes here or 10 minutes there, I can make that time productive. But if I'm like, think about it. You're like, I don't have any time, but you're like running over to your kid's swim lessons, and you're sitting in the car waiting, because you might be great to be watching your kid doing their swim lessons, but you're sitting in your car, or you're sitting on the bleachers. You could be sitting in your car being productive for that 45 minutes when normally you're doing nothing. Now, of course, you want to be there for their swim meet and be focusing on the swim meet, but with their swim lessons, you can go knock it out and like spend some time building your business. If it's that important to you, if getting your time back is that important to you, it's fascinating. When somebody wants something bad enough, they'll always do the things that are necessary to get it because they want it bad enough. So if having more money and having more free time is that important to you, or if it's that important to the person on your team, you need to be able to teach them how to make use of, and I've used this phrase many times, the crooks and the crannies of your day. The 5 minutes here, the 10 minutes there. It could be the lunch break. It could be the commute home. It could be the commute into work. It could be, a little break that you have here and there. It could be the drive to the grocery store. It could be a drive across town. It could be like, I just picked up my kid from school. It could be, drive. In fact, I was on the phone all the way into picking up my kid at school. Once I picked him up, he and I were present in the car. I wasn't on the phone. I was talking to my kid. But you get it? It's just these little tiny pockets of time can add up. And what a lot of people do is like, oh, it's only 5 minutes or it's only 10 minutes. Well, if the compound effect of that over 12 months or 24 months 10 minutes on the way into work, 10 minutes on the way back from work, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. All of those can add up to a prospecting call, to an exposure, to an exposure, to an exposure. And then over time, the cumulative effect of doing that is going to totally change your business. It's going to completely change your business and probably completely change your life. So yes, you can absolutely get to 6 figures and probably more than 6 figures working a very finite amount of hours a week, but it must be done with efficiency. You've got to be ready. You've got to be prepared so that when the opportunity arises, the 5 minutes that you have, that's a phone call. The 10 minutes that you have here, that's a few reach outs on Facebook. The 15-minute break that you've got at work, that could be a few exposures. And what most people do is they don't even look, they think I need to have a couple of like straight hours of uninterrupted sit down time in order for me to build my business. No, you don't. You need 3 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 5 minutes there. And the great thing about it, guess what? If you only got 3 minutes, like my friend I was referring to at the beginning of this episode, if she only has 5 minutes and then she hits the parking lot at her work and she's got to walk into work, well, guess what? She's got to get off the phone because she's got to go into work, right? So she's literally in a rush. She's like, hey, John, I only have a couple minutes. I'm getting ready to pull up to work. But listen, we just launched this business. I would love for you to take a look at what Javier and I are doing. Check this out. I'm going to text you this video. Take a look at it. I got to go. I'll call you on my way home from work. If you could watch that video today, take a look at it. I'll give you a buzz on my way home from work. And then she called the person on the way home from work. And she literally built her business to 6 figures in 12 months. So again, being prepared, being ready, and being incredibly efficient with your time. You don't have time to waste, especially if you've got limited hours, that finite amount of time. You don't have a lot of time. So you've got to be really, really efficient. Like, think about it. If you only had, if you wanted to get in shape and you're like, dude, I literally only have 30 minutes a day to go to the gym and get my workout in, you're not going to be lazing around talking to people. You're going to get in the gym and you're going to pump out that workout, and you're going to get in there. You're going to get a great workout because the intensity of your workout's going to be there. And then you got a great workout in and you're like, oh my gosh, I was only in the gym for 25 minutes and I got a great workout in, where somebody else might be in there for 3 hours and they burned far less calories than you did because they were dilly-dallying around. You guys get the gist of the message? I know you do, okay? So that's how you do it. YouTubers, what's up? I appreciate you guys for being on my YouTube channel. If you're on my podcast, thank you so much as well. Listen to me on audio. That's a beautiful thing. You want to get the details from this episode and other things that will help you build your business, come on over to toddfalcone.com/episode 164. Again, TODDFALCONE.com/episode 164. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.